One of the most consistent questions we get is whether someone who thinks they want to leave the military and pursue an MBA should get out of the military at 8 years for academy grads or 7 for ROTC grads rather than 5 or 4 so they are eligible for 100% of the GI Bill. So let's break that down. Before breaking down the financial element here, I want to clarify two things. First, there are ways to pay for school absent the GI Bill. The R&E, merit scholarships, 100% P&T ratings from the VA. This video will look at life assuming you do not receive those. And we will make another video talking about the world in which you, like many other vets, do qualify for some of those benefits. Second, this is going to be an exclusively financial calculation. Serving in the military and getting out of the military are intensely personal decisions. And our nation, thankfully, is great in large part because great men and women have decided to forego riches and instead serve our nation. However, many volunteers decide early on that the military is not the career they are going to be in forever. Some of those reasons are practical. Not everyone who wants to become an 05 or an 06 can be, even if they want to. And some of the reasons are personal. Maybe it's being told that you must move to the middle of Kansas from Oahu, or maybe it's just one too many hail and farewells at 8 p.m. on a Friday. But if you like serving, and this is a career that is personally rewarding, then you need to weigh that against what I'm about to tell you. Life is not all about money. But if you are watching this, it's probably a little bit about money. I wanted to make a model to actually quantify whether 8 years and 100% of the GI Bill had a higher net present value than 5 years and 50% of the GI Bill. A net present value is a way of taking your future personal cash flows, or your earnings minus your costs, your personal profits, and figuring out what those cash flows are worth today, given inflation and the rate at which your investment might grow. I make a key few assumptions in this model. First, for salaries, I am using the Berkeley Haas longitudinal data for average salary from their MBA program across 10 years. Projecting these numbers out 10 years is incredibly difficult, and there is going to be a massive distribution. Though I use the same numbers for each scenario, so it should come out in the wash. For assumptions about cost of living, I use CNBC's estimate of spending by income and put about a 4% multiplier by year because lifestyle creep is real. For VA disability, in both cases, I assume the veteran has a 70% rating. That seems to be at or below the average for what I see amongst most veterans I meet in school. Finally, I'm assuming that this vet will have kids in about 2 years from now. And I again use CNBC's estimate for cost per year of a child with that multiplier to adjust for lifestyle creep and inflation. Fifth, the vet out at 5 pays full sticker price minus 50% of the GI Bill, or roughly $14,000 in tuition and about a $1,200 BAH payment per month. This means that that vet will take out about $175,000 in student loans, paid back at about $22,000 per year over the next 10 years. Also note that the veteran who stays in for 8 still needs to pay for day-to-day life in some way. And while some may choose to deplete savings if they have them, I assumed that this vet at 8 years still had to take out about $40,000 in student loans, paid back at around $5,500 per year over the next 10 years. So what did the breakdown show? How much of a financial hit do you take getting out early? The answer that may surprise you, that you don't. What we see is that even if you're stuck taking out that $175,000 in student loans, paying those back over 10 years, you'll still come out about $267,000 ahead in terms of today's money. This means that you're effectively valuing that extra 3 years in the military at a $267,000 premium. Again, that's assuming you have no scholarships, no VRE, and no personal savings to cover that. That is the average compensation. Should you go into banking or consulting and stay, or you're that vet unicorn that somehow makes it into private equity, that number will be much higher. And intuitively, this should make sense. You're effectively taking 3 very high-paying years in the future and trading them for 3 fairly low-paying years now. Now, maybe that premium is worth it to you. A satisfying career will, after all, involve trade-offs between money, job satisfaction, and time and energy directed toward your personal life. But as far as financial choices go, staying in just for the GI Bill is quite frankly a bad one.